On the night of October 14, 2025, Kenya lost one of its most gifted young journalists. For many, the name Kimani Mbugua was synonymous with fearless reporting, sharp insight, and a voice that always sought the truth. But behind the headlines was a quieter, darker story. A battle with mental health, whispers of conspiracy, and a father's broken heart. This is the story behind the headlines and why his final chapter is provoking more questions than answers. Who was Kimani Mbugua? Kimani's rise in media was meteoric. By age 19, he was already interning at Nation Media Group as a student. He later worked at Citizen TV, NTV, Inoro FM, and Hot 96, becoming a familiar face and voice in Kenya's entertainment and news scenes. But success didn't shield him from inner storms. Publicly, Kimani acknowledged a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, and over years, he openly shared his struggles with depression and psychosis. His transparency earned him admiration, but it also exposed him to judgment, stigma, and speculation. In recent years, Kimani's life took a troubling turn. Friends, colleagues, and family spoke of episodes, social media posts, hospitalizations, attempts at rehabilitation. He was first admitted to Mathari National Teaching and Referral Hospital in Nairobi for treatment. Then, with support from former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko, he was moved to a mental health rehabilitation facility in Mombasa, the Mombasa Women Empowerment Mental Rescue Center, where he'd been receiving care. Tragically, it was there, in that facility, that Kimani's life came to an end. What really happened? The official word from multiple news sources is that Kimani died by suicide. The family, through statements, confirmed this as the conclusion reached so far. Yet the full report, the post-mortem, the circumstances, these remain clouded in partial truths. Some media reports suggest that Kimani's mental health battle had deep roots. One story claims that Kimani's father once alleged that his son's drink was spiked during a birthday celebration, and that after that event, things started deteriorating. That moment, if true, is shrouded in speculation and has become part of alternate narratives around his decline. Critics argue, was it purely internal, the demons of depression and bipolar disorder, or were there external forces, mismanagement of care, systemic failures, or even darker conspiracies behind the scenes? Because when someone that visible dies under such conditions, people want more than diagnosis. They want accountability and clarity. Amid the rumors, there's one voice that echoes, Kimani's father. In interviews, he's expressed both love and anguish, insisting that his son's suffering was real and complex. In some public articulations, the father recalled, "My son was not just a name in the media. He was my child. He had dreams, hopes. I watched him fight these invisible battles for years." He also affirmed Kimani's diagnosis of bipolar disorder and pleaded for compassion and understanding, not sensationalism. In one interview, he asserted that Kimani's life could not be reduced to just mental illness, that there were events that triggered deterioration and that the medical system did not always serve him well. That plea from a father is raw, haunting, and demands that we look deeper. What should we remember and demand? Kimani's passing is heartbreaking, but it must be more than tragedy. It must be a catalyst. For mental health reform, better facilities, more humane care, less stigma. For media responsibility, nuanced coverage that doesn't reduce lives to headlines. For truth-seeking, demanding full, transparent investigations, especially in high-profile cases. And for compassion, reminding us all that behind public personas are fragile human beings. If you listen this far, then you carry a piece of Kimani's story with you. Let his life become not just a lesson, but a calling. Let's find the light in his silence. May his soul continue resting in peace. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.